Welcome back to SSPTV News presented by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. And now here's your weekly community feature.
Luzerne County Community College Diversity Council recently hosted a roundtable discussion at its Hazleton Center on race, equity, inclusion, and diversity issues. I'm pleased to be joined today by the president of the college, President Thomas P. Leary, and Ann Saxton, who is the coordinator of diversity for the college, to talk about this forum and diversity at the college. President Leary, I guess let's begin with, why was it important for you to hold this event in the first place?
Well, in my experience here at the college, I realized that we have made a commitment to diversity with respect to our curriculum, to our engagement with our students through a variety of means, as well as our Diversity Council, which has been led by Ann. And we have made progress with respect to informing and eliciting from our students some of the important measures that they feel need to be taken. But over the last several weeks, and particularly when the situation with Mr. Floyd a few weeks ago, that served, at least to me and individuals that I spoke with around the college, my colleagues, as kind of an important wake-up call that we can never be satisfied with what we're doing on this particular issue unless we continually engage all of our community partners and our students in making the situation as good as possible. Meaning that even though our efforts as the largest diverse institution in Luzerne County and one of the leaders in northeastern Pennsylvania, I think that as a community college, we need to do more. And my first inclination was to communicate a message to our college community, most importantly to our students, that we are aware that we need to continually have open discussions about the importance of race, inclusion, diversity, and that on the heels of that message, we also had some discussions about establishing some president's roundtables to go to specific areas, particularly during this challenging time that we are in with the pandemic, to really go to meet our students and some individuals in the community, to really have a conversation about what we need to do better, what we need to change, and what we need to recognize as important in terms of such areas as curriculum infusion, creation of new opportunities for our students to engage in more comprehensive learning experiences, really to bring the college community together to have that kind of discussion. So I think that our first forum in Hazleton I found to be very enlightening, and really listening to our students particularly, I found that we do have more work to do, and that's what we're going to engage in as time moves on.
Now, I know that the forum was not open to the public because of COVID and social distancing, but you are going to provide it so that people can watch it on your website and be able to see what transpired. And you were also involved with this as well. What was going through your mind when you were sitting there and listening to the comments that were coming in? Did any one thing stand out in your mind?
So any one thing that stood out, there was a suggestion, I don't know, I think it was a community member that suggested perhaps we could develop a one-credit course surrounding just on diversity issues and issues of equity and inclusion, which would not only be discussing racism, bias, but equity in the forms of the LGBTQA community, age, disability, and so on.
What will you do with the information you've gathered from that forum? Where do we go next?
Well, I think as we continue this series, and I don't believe that it's going to stop in Wilkes-Barre. It's going to be a series we'll have here on the main campus as well. But we're going to basically collect all of this information and the ideas that have been generated from these forums. And we're going to sit down with the leadership here at the college. We're going to sit down with our faculty, with our staff. We're going to talk about how we might be able to formulate a plan to extend what the Diversity Council has done up to this point and what the group is working on right now, and decide how we can implement some of the ideas that have been proposed. You know, I wanted to just add something that Ann mentioned, and she used the word opportunity. And the opportunity now is right in front of us. And I'm a strong believer, when you look at history, that opportunity is when you need to seize, when individuals feel this level of discomfort, that you need to seize that opportunity to bring the conversation into a positive trajectory, so that you're talking about good things, good ideas that are going to positively impact the greater percentage of people. You know, some of the discomfort that people have about this issue is they feel almost as if they're being blamed for something. And I think what the young people have done, and they demonstrated this in the forum, they're not being judgmental. They're not looking and pointing the finger and saying you should have fixed it. What they're saying is, let's talk about it and let's try to do what we can to improve it. So I think that gives us, at least for me, that gives me a great deal of hope right now, where we're at and what we can do. And I'm also a firm believer you can only take care of your area of the world. We live in northeastern Pennsylvania. Let's do what we can as a community college, positively impact this area, this community that we serve. That's our obligation. And if we can do that incrementally throughout our communities, throughout the state, throughout the country, this will be a better place over time.
Thank you, President Leary. Thank you, Ann, for talking with me today. I hope we can talk again about this in the future.